Hi you guys, this is Andrea Swain Martin with my handsome husband Kim, and our neighbor just brought us a huge gift, about a 50-pound hen of the woods. I mean, how lucky could a person get to get 50 pounds of hen of the woods?
This is one mushroom.
One mushroom alone.
That I'm working on.
And our friend Nick across the way, he was walking in a field and found it. I'm not sure how. And so Kim is starting the initial process of washing the hen of the woods. Now, this is not necessarily a slow or easy process, but it is a gift to get a hen of the woods. And I have some that I pressure canned last winter, and it's really good to use for pizzas or roasts or whatever else you got going on. And I know exactly where this came from, so I know it is where it came sourced. And Kim is right now cleaning out sticks and leaves and grass, and is soaking in salt water.
Kosher salt.
Kosher salt. So I'm so pleased. This was one of the best gifts I've been given the whole year. It's a 50-pound hen of the woods, and I will show you a picture eventually. Kim and Nick were holding up the hen of the woods together. There's a little person crawling right there yet.
Hopefully he dies.
Well, he will eventually if he gets in the salt. But anyway, they were holding up the hen of the woods, and Nick was just way pleased to give this to us because he knows that I will process this appropriately so we have food on the shelf for later. I don't know about you guys, but when you have good neighbors, it's the best. You know you can rely on them, and they bring you gifts like hen of the woods. Me and Kim just don't go traipsing through woods or anything like that anymore. We just don't do that. It doesn't make any sense. It's not necessary. And there's all kinds of bugs and things crawling through it, but they will die. That's why you use salt water, because things will die. My mom taught me that with broccoli. So it works the same with any kind of things like this. So anyway, this is Andrea. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi, you guys. So Kim, this is Monday morning, and Kim is working on the hen of the woods that has been soaking in salt water for just a little over 12 hours, maybe closer to 14. But it's looking really good. You want to tell everybody what you're doing, hon?
Well, right now I'm pulling the leaves off and getting down to the stem where there's a lot of debris, and usually I won't go much farther than that because there's going to be sand and sticks and all kinds of other little guys living in there. Basically, you want the top part of the mushroom. This little piece over here I can probably salvage and take off, but you want the tender little leaf area because you get down in here. Basically, this is the filtered out area where it grew from the spars to the root ball. And there's just so much in there, you can't really get to those. So it's part of the cleaning process. Yes, it seems like you're throwing away a bunch, but these are the leaves. And they're just nice and beautiful. And I've already cleaned up maybe 1/8 of this mushroom. It chops up beautifully. It's nice and white and fleshy on the inside.
It's very pretty stuff, yeah.
I'm chunking it. We're going to can it today. In big enough pieces, and then we're going to pressure can it. And it's a very meaty mushroom. We'll put it on pizzas. We'll put it in with our beef and noodles,
which is on docket for tomorrow.
Yum. We'll probably have some of these with it.
Exactly. I'm going to bring you over here and show you. We got roast in the crock pot for dinner, but Kim's going to blanch these guys, which will remove more debris. If there's anything left after he's done with that process, it'll be removed here. And so he will do that before we do another rinse and put them in jars to can them.
So right now, yes, I'm just going through and opening up the little wings and getting down, right down in there so I can get everything cleaned out. And if it looks like it's going to be a viable piece, I will keep it. And all these are. I'm not going to get every single bit of everything out of there. If harvesting and hunting mushrooms, herbs, wild vegetables, berries, if you think you're going to get it all out,
Got another thing coming.
You're
Yeah.
going to have to learn to eat a bug or two, maybe some grass. You're going to get most of it out. I'm going to get most of it out. I've got my recycling can here to go on my compost pile. If I can't get it out, it's going in there. See, there's a big chunk of stem that's full of sand and everything.
Yep.
So it's going in there. I would love to say I'm going to harvest every single piece of this mushroom, but you just can't do that.
I don't think I've ever seen anything, a mushroom that big, a Hen-of-the-Woods anyway. Usually they're as big as a, maybe a
See how dark that
softball.
water is getting in there from that salt water, pulling all the dirt and stuff out of them.
Now, I got to go back to work, but I just
These
wanted
are
to come.
very clustered, full of stuff. It's time consuming. There's a bunch of grass right here up in the leaf area. One step at a time. I'll get it all done, and then we're going to pressure can it. And it's going to be yummy. And we'll have, Andrea's made me for New Year's Day. It's kind of becoming my go-to. But we go camping. She'll make me homemade cream of mushroom soup with these. And oh my goodness, it's so good.
It is a delicious dish.
So I'm going to keep chugging along. We'll see what the yield is off of a 50-pound gigantic mushroom. It's time consuming. To me, it's worth my effort.
I can't believe how big it is.
It's such a meaty mushroom.
Nick brought it over and he tried to give it to me, and I couldn't manage it. It was so big. So this is Andrea. I'm going to let you go. I've got to go back up to work. I just came down to sneak around and see what Kim was up to, or snoop around, I should say. And we will talk to y'all later. Bye. Camera.
Hi, everybody. This is Kim with Andrea Cans. And earlier this morning, you seen that really huge 50-pound mushroom that Mr. Logan Johnson and his father Nick gifted to us yesterday. Well, it took me all day,
At least
long,
6.5 hours for sure.
cleaning that doggone thing, putting it in this pot, and blanching it. And now it's time to take some of it out and start putting it in some jars that Miss Andrea has had canned or sterilizing for me. So I'm going to start by putting some in, and I'm going to put it into this space right here. From what I've watched, all of our favorite little YouTubers, 1-inch headspace right to the bottom of that rim on all 5 of those, just to get us started here. And I will be using that water because it's going to settle whatever else is in there, because this is the mushroom water, and that's what everybody says, that you might as well just utilize what you got because it's evidently good for you. So I'm going to use that water to fill them up. Once I get all, I don't know how many pints we're going to get. We're going to go with pints today and see how far we can get.
I think I have 20 some sterilized right now, Mr. Martin. I know you said 30, but I didn't
I know I had 45 pounds of mushrooms in here out of 50, so.
If I have to sterilize more, I will.
I'm gonna go over here. I'll put some in there. Nice, meaty mushroom that tastes like a mushroom. It has no seasoning, no nothing done to it.
Yet.
When we put it in the pot, we're going to put half a teaspoon of kosher salt right on the top, and then I'm going to add the brine. Watch yourself there.
So a teaspoon of kosher salt per jar, then, do you think?
Half a teaspoon.
Yes. Okay.
And that's just for doing buttons, and if you're rolling mushrooms, we're going to do half a teaspoon on this stuff too.
You did a good job with cleaning that, sweetheart.
Yeah, and my back felt it all day, but we're going to fill this up to 1-inch headspace. There's there's a gap in here, so you're going to have to debubble.
That's it.
So I'm going to fill it up to there, and I'll make my adjustments as I go. This is a nice tender mushroom now. Very hot, but look them. So meaty. It'll be good when. And I suggest you can do it with beef broth and kind of flavor your mushrooms that way to get your salt. We're going to just put kosher on them. And then we're going to
Too hot.
tap them down. And we're going to, after we bubble them, put lids on them. And then they're going to go in the pressure canner. And the pressure canner is going to be for 45 minutes. At 10 pounds pressure. What do you think? Nice and tender now, isn't it? Just like a mushroom. Needs salt though, huh? Yeah?
Hen-of-the-Woods never need salt.
No? I think it does. A little butter, a little garlic, a little salt.
Maybe a little onion too sometimes.
Now, these are all cooked already. Once we pressurize them, they're going to get shelf stable. Andrea wants to make me a homemade pizza or beef and noodles. And she's looking for a mushroom. We don't have to run down to the grocery store and buy us a can of mushrooms. She's going to have them right here on the shelf. Actually looking forward to a homemade pizza. She makes the best homemade pizza with her tomato sauces and everything, and we just put it all away. And
You got some grass. I can't get it.
Did you get it?
yeah, it's just a little grass. It's not going to hurt anything.
I'll get it.
By the time it gets done with pressure canning, you won't have to worry about grass. Everything will be dead. Did you get it, huh?
As we said, this is a wild mushroom.
It is glued to
It's
the mushroom.
going to have
See
some
me panic?
residues in there.
Are you panicked?
Am I panicked?
No, I was asking Logan. I said, and he said, no, he's not panicked. I said, I'm not panicked. Look at me panic about having a piece of grass and mushrooms.
So I'm going to use the debubbler here just to kind of get this all set down to 1-inch headspace. Which I think I'm probably going to be pretty close. If not, I'll just add more to it. Which I'll have to do. Which you'll have to do to all of them, it looks like. So, not a major malfunction or anything. Just got to fit the mushrooms in. You want as many mushrooms as you can fit in your jar. Because everybody knows the more the merrier. Ooh, homemade spaghetti sauce with this. Ooh.
That sounds good too. An omelet.
An omelet. If you've never had this mushroom, it's a very meaty variety. And it tastes just like a mushroom. Just like, if you like mushrooms, it's a mushroom. It doesn't have enough distinct, different flavor about it. It's just the mushroom. Alright, I'll top these all off. And Miss Andrea can put some salt on them. And we'll show you, put the brine and bubble them again, and
Sorry, honey. Go ahead and show. Just don't get it near the jars because she's got hair. And I want to show you this. This is the only person Meep will love like this. Logan's the Meep Whisperer. Isn't that cute? She's always loved Logie.
There we go. I'm perfect right there. You'll add just enough liquid to fill it up to that 1-inch headspace.
She's heavy for you, huh?
These are, believe it or not, you probably have had these mushrooms, especially if you go to Chinese. They're called, I think, what did you call them? They
Maitake.
said maitake. Which they put in their soups and stuff. You just didn't know you was having them. It's a very popular mushroom.
Didn't Nick say, didn't your dad say it was like $35 a pound?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
35, 38. Depends what you buy them.
And that's only I'm thinking because it's such a large, meaty mushroom. You get a lot of mushrooms for your money, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh my. Look at her love you. She sure loves you.
Yeah. You feel like fully to yourself. I have a tractor pull on my 19th.
On the 19th, you have a tractor pull?
Yeah.
I'll put that on the calendar.
When?
The 19th, he has a tractor pull.
19th?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, this is the last pull of the season.
You're on the calendar.
There we go.
Alright, I'm going to put you guys all on hold for a few minutes. I've got to get some salt for him and kind of help him get things organized. So we'll talk to y'all in a few minutes. Bye. Hi, you guys. This is Andrea, and we're back. And I'm going to have Ken tell you what our next step is going on here. That's going on here, I should say.
We are getting ready to pressure can 18 pints of Hen-of-the-Woods mushroom, which I just am so glad to have got given to us by a good friend. It's a double stack. There's 18 pints in there. We're going to get it all brought up to temperature. It's got hot water already in it. Make sure my lid works. That still works. Plug is in.
Looks good to me.
I can see through it. And I'm going to lock it down. We're going to wait till I get a steady stream of steam through there. We'll set the timer for 10 minutes after that. Once that 10 minutes is over, I'll set my gauge on there and we will pressure can for 45 minutes and then we'll slowly bring it back down and we'll finish up with you guys tomorrow. Show you the end product.
Do you want to show them what the way it looks like? Because some people haven't seen that before.
Oh,
Like, it's a huge, wonderful tool to be able to use.
This is a 10-pound jiggly weight. It's actually comes as a 15-pound jiggly weight. And it comes with these rings and you can adjust it. 5 pounds. 10 pounds. 15 pounds is what's standard on most of these Prestos. And for our area, if you don't want to use watching the gauge, you need 10 pounds. So just like that, we just take off a weight. It's set for our area.
And we're in the flatlands of Illinois, so we have very little like down in the mountains or whatever like that. We're flatlanders. So We don't have any altitude here to be worried about, so that's why we do 10 pounds, and it's all good in the hood, huh?
So we're going to wait for this to come up to steam. I'll set the timer for 10 minutes. Once 10 minutes is done, we will put the jiggly on it and bring it up to speed and set our timer for 45 minutes after that. Then I'll turn the heat off and we'll slowly let it reduce until we have zero pressure, and then I can take it all out.
St. Kim has been at this all day long. So tomorrow I will show you what the end product looks like. We're going to go have a break, and I hope you're having a good evening. This is not an easy process. It's a long process, but well worth it.
We got mushrooms now, and I don't have to go to Aldi's and buy the little cans. I got big cans now.
You know, it's about 3 uses I can get out of one of the little pints. So,
Like I said, looking for pizza, spaghetti,
cream of mushroom soup, homemade.
soup,
You got it.
roast and noodles with mushrooms in it.
Honey, whatever you want, I know how to make. So,
Maybe some sauteed mushrooms for my steaks.
all right. You
Since
got
I
it.
have steak all the time. I don't. But I might make a mushroom swish burger. I have mushrooms now, so there's all kinds of things that just opened up this winter. So we'll talk to you tomorrow, everyone.
Bye.
Good morning, everyone. It's the next day. We pressure canned our mushrooms. I put a 13-hour day in yesterday.
You sure did.
Cleaning this bad baby and getting it all ready to go. It's a process. You gotta peel it apart, rinse it, find the debris, cut it and break it up, get it to the sizes you need. Then you gotta put it in a pot. You gotta blanch it. Once you get it blanched, then you gotta remove it from that. Then you gotta put it in your jars, which are sanitized. Thank you, Mrs. Martin.
You're welcome, Mr. Martin.
And you pack it in your jars. Half teaspoon of salt per pint. Put your mushroom water on top of your mushrooms to your 1-inch headspace. Put your lids on, finger tight. Pressure can for 45 minutes. Bring it up to steam for 10 minutes. Time it. Once it's up to full steam, put your shaker on top. Pressurize it at 10 pounds for 45 minutes. And once that's done, then we just let it set and cool down.
You did that overnight. So this is the third day you've been working on this guy.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
This morning we removed everything. She's cleaned up her kitchen because I'm a messy canner. But this is our take. We got 18 beautiful pints of mushrooms.
They are pretty.
They are every bit a mushroom like you would eat from the store. They just look a little bit different, but they're very meaty. They taste exactly the same.
Uh-oh.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So there's 18 beautiful pints of Hen-of-the-Woods mushrooms. She says she might get 3 meals a pint.
I think so. As big as they are and as nice as they are this year, are about 3 meals a pint. So what I'll do is I'll take 1 pint off the shelf downstairs because they're shelf stable, and I'll bring it upstairs, and I will use some for one third for one meal, the other second third for a second meal, and the other third for the third meal. It will work just fine. I think they look beautiful and they'll be good to cook with. It's nice to have mushrooms on the shelf.
Yeah, well, this is our second year of doing this. We've frozen before. I'm kind of leaning towards this is a better way to do it. We'll get it processed, put away, shelf stable, takes up less room in our freezers, and we'll find a shelf to put it on, and we'll be good to go.
Well, everyone, thank you for going out and liking and subscribing to our channel. This is Andrea Swain Martin with my handsome husband, Ken Martin. I've been after him to change our channel's name to Andrea and Kim Can, and he says no. So it's not that for a want of trying, because he does just as much as I do. But I hope you're doing well, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye, everyone.